What is up, guys? My name is Harris. Welcome back to the channel. Today is a brand new live stream. The Montreal Canadiens would play tonight. I just realized I don't know why I have my AirPod in my. I don't know why I have my AirPod in. I have my other one somewhere around here. But yeah, the Montreal Canadiens played tonight. It was a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was the first of two. We play them again on Saturday. And and I just realized you guys might have heard that. I apologize if you did. I really hope you didn't. But this stream's going great so far. So yeah, like I said, the Montreal Canadiens played tonight. It was a game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It was the first of two in this preseason. We also play them opening night of our season. And we will get into the game in a second. Yoshi Bros wasn't expecting it at all. No Matthews and Yarncroke. Nylander was injured. We only had two of our big four left in this game. Yoshi, it shouldn't be very shocking. The Habs roster was ass tonight, dog. You should have expected to win, man. The team in front of Jakub Dobes was very bad. So, you should have expected to win. The Montreal Canadiens. Elliott, firstly, agree. Absolutely, man. Hutson, once again, best player on the ice for sure. Dobes was phenomenal. We will get into that for sure. Dobes, absolutely was very, very good. Jack, yes, Dobes should be the backup next season, I would think. See, here's the thing. I think if Primo has a slow start to the year, they maybe call up Dobes and give him a try. But it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, God, that blue for the names is awful. You can barely see your names on the stream. Dobes absolutely, I think, should be given a chance. This year, if Primo or Monty, could be one or the other, doesn't start the season off clicking. But definitely, next year, I think Dobes should at least be given a look at being the backup. Because he's been pretty good so far. With Yoshi Bros, again, keep in mind, most of our big guns are probably going to be playing Saturday in Montreal, so we can throw the game away that's in Toronto. So, I mean, yeah, we're going to be having Monty and Primo in Montreal. The top two lines are probably going to be in Montreal. I would think maybe they put Hutson back in Montreal. I don't know. It's going to be a much better lineup against the Leafs on Saturday. At least I would imagine so. Jack, I believe so. October 8th is opening night for the Canadiens. I can actually open that up because I already have the templates written. The 9th is actually opening night. It's the 9th and then the 10th. And then the 12th and then the 14th. No. It's the 9th and then the 10th. 10th is the home opener. 9th is the... No. The 9th is the home opener because we're at home against Toronto first time in a while, and then we're in Boston against the Bruins. So, yeah. So what we're going to do, as always, boys, if anyone is new here, how we do this is we go through the lines for both teams. I go through my little game summary, recap, analysis, whatever you want to call it, and then I do the stats at the end of the game, which I just realized I didn't do for this game, which, not that it really matters. There's only two players that had points for the Canadiens. Spoilers, I apologize. Oh, wow. And so there's only two players, so I just got to edit that real quick, and that's done. And can we have Leafs Lightning in Game 1? I want Canadiens in Game 3 instead on the regular season. Oh, why? Why, Yoshi Bros? Why do you want us Game 3 instead? I think we compete for a wild card as long as we all stay healthy. Jack, absolutely. Absolutely. The Canadiens have that potential to compete for a wild card. When I do my season predictions, which will probably be in about a week, I think during that break between Tuesday's game and then Saturday's game that we're about to have after the first game against the Sens to the second game against the Sens, I should say. I think that's when I'll do my season predictions. Because by then, that's usually when most teams are like, okay, most of the AHL guys are sent down. They usually are icing their full NHL roster, so you can kind of tell who's making the team, who's not, and so I'll probably do it there. It has been a long time, the opening night. Leafs, Canadiens, always the first game. Well, okay, Yoshi Bros, it might help the Leafs, but, you guys are better than us, so you should probably be beating us right now anyways, but, hey, I'm fine with us being opening night if it means the Canadiens win, so, yeah. And Yoshi, why the NHL has the Leafs and Canadiens, it makes sense. You get the two biggest Canadian markets facing each other. It's a legendary rivalry. It goes back almost 100 years, so it makes sense why they have Leafs and Canadiens game 1, and then they have Canadiens and Bruins game 2, and then Canadiens Senators game 3. So it's basically our 3 biggest rivals back to back to back to start the year. So that's fun. Gaming Explorer, yeah, really not a bad game. There was a little bit boring. It was a little bit boring at parts, but for the most part, yeah, it was. Even when the Canadiens weren't in control, it was still a fun game to watch because of Jakub Dobes. Dobes was very solid. Dobes was very, very good tonight. And yeah, and then the Canadiens, I'll say, didn't get many shots. If I wanted to take the time and put a total like shots counter here, yeah. You guys would probably be flipping out, but we'll get to that at the end of the game when I reveal the final shots. Game Explorer, absolutely. Shutting out the Flyers and the Devils is still something. What was it, 130-something minutes of 130-something minutes of shutting out the opponent? Like, we weren't going to go 6-0 in preseason. As great as it would have been, it wasn't going to happen this year. 2 to 3 years, maybe? Possibly. But not this year. It wasn't going to be a perfect 6-0 record. But yeah, I'm completely fine with shutting out an opponent for 130 minutes. I really can't be mad at this game for how we lost. Because it was still a close game, you know. The Canadiens were sort of in it until the final minute. I mean, not really, but it's only... We lost by a goal. If we just get a lucky bounce on Matt Murray, then yeah, we probably win, but... Yeah. Beat us in 2022 home opener. We beat Ottawa the next game. Nothing too big. We took an L because Matt Murray started that game and allowed 4 goals in the final minute. Oof. Final minute he allowed the game, the goal that allowed us to lose that game in 2022. Oof, Yoshi Bros. Yeah, I think that was Josh Anderson, I'm pretty sure. Shout out Matt Murray for that one. All right. Whew. I'm going to get to the opening line. Sorry, boy. I'm going to get to the opening lineups now. Yeah, the opening lines for the Canadiens. Have I said the opening lines enough yet? Heineman, Dvorak, Newhook, Waugh, Kapanen, Armia, Barre, Boulay, Beck, Kidney, and Tuck, Gignac, Pezzetta. So Pezzetta on the right side for tonight. I didn't like that. He's a left side guy, but it's for one game. Who cares? Jacky, Engstrom, Hutson, Barron, Struble, Reinbacher. I still remember who started because I watched that game and you guys won against us. Game 1 in Montreal. Thank you, I appreciate that. Jakub Dobes would get the start net for the Canadiens. Connor Hughes would back him up and surprisingly wouldn't play, despite playing pretty well in the first preseason game when he came in relief for, I believe, Caden Primo. Surprisingly, didn't get any time tonight. I don't know if he's going to be one of those guys that gets sent down tomorrow, and it was just, hey, look, just watch the game, enjoy it, don't worry about going in, unless Dobes gets blown out, which he wouldn't. I don't know if Hughes is going to get sent down and get waived, because I'm pretty sure he would have to get, he would have to go through waivers because he's like 29, 30. But you know what? Hey, he played well. Yeah. The opening lines for the Maple Leafs were Cowan, Domi, Marner, McMahon, Nylander, Robertson, Pacioretty, Tavares, Holmberg, Lawrence, or Lawrence, as apparently it's called, he's named, Kempf and Reeves, Riley, Tanev, Ekman, Larson, McCabe, and Benoit Liljegren around the blue line. Anthony Stolarz would start in net for the Leafs, and Matt Murray would back him up, as I thought he had a chance to play the second half. Nope, he would go in for the third period, actually. That's when Matt Murray would play hockey for the first time in a long time in the NHL. Whenever you host us, we lose. Whenever we host your team, we win. Damn. Well, you know what? Hey, I'm completely fine with that, Yoshi. Salty, how's it going, man? Thank you for coming by. Much appreciated, my good sir. Before the game, Matthews was out. He was not playing. I forget if it was an injury or if it was just a, we don't need to play you tonight. But yeah, Matthews did not play in the game, as I'm sure you probably got that from me reading off the lineups. Early in the first, Leafs get the first shot. There's a screen and a good stop by Dobes. Habs the other way nearly score. Newhook in front gets a decent tip about 3 minutes in. I believe that one goes off the post. Rebounds up in the air twice, but Stolarz ends up getting looks on it. No real panic for the Leafs there early on. Which rookie am I impressed by so far? Salty, Jakub Dobes has been fantastic, I think. He's only allowed 2 goals. And technically, yeah, it's 90 minutes because he played a game and a half technically. But yeah, Jakub Dobes, I think, has been very, very good so far. I think he's been really solid. I think he's looked like he very well should be an NHL goaltender. If not this year, next year, he looks very good. Lane Hutson, of course. Hutson looks fantastic. His offensive potential is through the ceiling. The way he moves with the shoulders, the chances he's generating are really good as well. They just haven't been going in, unfortunately. But Hudson's been very solid. Oliver Kapanen, his first game he played in tonight as well, very, very solid. He looks like he should be forcing Dvorak out of the third line center spot, probably. Lanos Himmy. Lanos Himmy. Hell yeah, shout out Lanos Himmy. But but yeah, Oliver Kapanen, I'm a big fan of him. He looked pretty good in first game. For going back to the Devils game where we won, Cameron Hughes, I'll say, I thought he was good. Oh, he came in relief for the Devils game. I thought it was the Flyers game. That one was Jakub Dobes, wasn't it? But yeah, Cameron Hughes, I thought he stood out. Technically, he's an NHL rookie. I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to go back. I feel like Florian Jacki played all right in that first game. Heineman, I think he was pretty all right. I think he was okay. So yeah, really the ones that I'm really impressed by though are Dobes, Hutson, and Kapanen. Those are the three that I think have a chance to make the NHL this year. It's funny. We have one at each well, Hudson's obviously going to make the lineup, but it's fun. We have three potential rookies on each position. Well, one on each position. Three total that could end up possibly making the Canadiens roster this year. Might be a shocking matchup on the 9th because we see two of those drafted players in 2016. Yeah, Matthews versus Line. Yeah. Yeah, Yoshi, I feel like a lot of people mentioning that. Yeah, Matthews with the Leafs, obviously, and Line with Montreal, yeah. Probably, yeah. That'll be fun. Hopefully Line scores 4 goals. That'd be very fun. Maybe it'd show Matthews how to score 4 goals and still win a game. But Habs go to the power play afterwards. Domi's called for a very stupid cross-check on Lane Hutson. That caused him to crash into Dobes. Thankfully, both guys look okay. Unfortunately, Domi did not trip and hurt himself there. Habs don't get anything early. Leafs on a turnover. They end up pressing. Dobes makes a good stop on Mitch Marner on a wraparound. 3 very good stops in a row there. Habs try to get set back up. Waugh has a late shot, but that doesn't end up in the net. Habs end up being 0 for 1 on the power play. Habs would then pressure. They don't get shots. They were good at keeping the puck at this stage. Just couldn't generate any shots on net, unfortunately. I think the Leafs outshot them 4-1 on that power play even. Jacki then has a reverse hit on Reeves in the Habs zone. Toronto was buzzing a bit. I'm thinking, or the fans, I should say, were buzzing a bit, thinking they'd go early. Which, I mean, it's Jacki and Reeves. I thought they would have, but it seems like Reeves pussied out once again. Habs then go to the PK after a dump and chase. Dvorak is called for holding McMahon. That sucks. Nylander has a shot that stopped very early on, like 12, 13 seconds into the PK. Dobes makes a stop there. Habs clear. Marner then slaps it from his own nets, or from his own zone, and just draws the faceoff back into his own zone. I don't know why. Lady Balls, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Pussied out, yeah, absolutely. Reeves definitely pussied out of a fight with Jacki for sure. Not a chance. I don't think our goalies will be playing foolish. I mean, I don't know. It's not about the goalies playing foolish. It's about Line getting to the front of the net, driving those opportunities home. If Line's on his game, he's scoring 4. If he really, really wants to, he's gonna score 4 goals by himself. So, yeah. Even though with Hildeby, don't insult Hildeby. That's your future backup right there. That's your future backup in like 3 seasons when Joseph Woll falls off. And Anthony Stolarz is your starter because he's pretty goddamn good. I think Stolarz actually has a chance to steal the net from Joseph Woll this year. I'm a huge Anthony Stolarz guy. And, yeah, it was good. Rare good signing by the Leafs. Okay, where am I? Leafs try to get set up. Habs end up getting another clear. If you think Line can match... I mean, Yoshi Bros, it's not necessarily about that. I mean, Line scored 5 goals in a game one year. And he ended the year with something like, I think, 38 goals. I think that was when he had his career-high 38 goals. He's not going to match the 69 goals that Matthews scored last year. He's not going to be a 60-goal scorer. But he could get to 30-40, I think. I think he probably ends up more in the middle, maybe 30-35. It depends if he stays healthy. If he's healthy and the Canadiens put him in the right positions, which we probably will, we'll probably play him that second line and whatnot, I could see a 30-35 goal season from Patrick Laine. I'm not promising that since Matthews will be fully checked this season. He won't get to more than 60 goals. Oh, he's not getting 60 goals again in a season. 43, 46. He probably gets to 50 just because there are players on the Leafs that are around him. It's not like how it's been the last 3 seasons where you cover Caulfield and he's not going to get 50 goals. This year, there's players around to where Cole Caulfield has a legit shot to hit 50. Matthews has a shot to hit 50. As long as there's a team around him and other guys that you do need to watch out for, Matthews should be able to get 50. He won't get 60 again, but I think 50 is possible for Matthews for sure. Habs end up getting to the clear, like I said. The Habs Leafs get set up, and they end up scoring. John Tavares, right in front of the net, gives Toronto the 1-0 lead just about, if I could get the time, which I cannot right now, but if I can get the time, that'd be really appreciated. 10-12 into the first period. John Tavares on the power play from Marner and Riley makes it a 1-0 game. Struble just loses coverage of Tavares. Ryan Bacher doesn't see him either. And yeah, just tips it right home. Habs end up being 0 for 1 on the penalty kill tonight. So that ends our perfect streak. We are now, unfortunately, 10 for 11 on the penalty kill. So still a very good penalty kill for the Canadiens. Just unfortunately not perfect like it was in the last 2 games. Domi looks to make it 2-0 quickly. There's a stop by Dobes. And on a quick rebound stop, he gets it. On a quick rebound, Dobes makes the pad stop. Nylander then goes down as Steven Lawrence decides to push him for some reason. Pushes him down. He then eats, I want to say it was Newhook. Eats Newhook's skate. That sucked. He would not return to the game, obviously. But, yeah. Yeah. Nylander, best of luck to him. He's actually one of the few Toronto players I like. That sucked. That sucked. Hopefully Nylander's okay, and it's just a little, hopefully it's just precautionary. They mentioned that, and thank you, by the way, as well, for mentioning that about Matthews earlier. I saw that it was a practice injury, not long-term, that he should be good for, if not Saturday, the home opener. I appreciate that. Thank you. And, yeah, I would think Nylander, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think they're going to play the big guns on Saturday, mostly just because they played 3 or 4 of them tonight. They'll probably play Matthews on Saturday, I would imagine. But I think it's probably going to be the B squad that plays against the Canadiens A squad, like how it was the Canadiens B squad that played tonight against most of the Leafs A squad. So, yeah. 50 is unlikely for McDavid. Draisaitl won't be this year's Rocket Richard Trophy winner since he signed a new contract with the Oilers. Well, that's not necessarily an indicator. Sometimes people sign a new contract and they're motivated to play up to that contract, like Draisaitl probably will be. I think he probably ends up with 50, probably. McKinnon's not going to get that. He's much more of a playmaker, I think. Hyman's not going to get 50 again. He's probably ending up with 30. He's still a 30-goal scorer, but he's not ending up with 50 this year. That was a one-year wonder type of deal. And McKinnon, he does have the talent to get 50 goals. The thing is, he just sees a lot more. He has a phenomenal hockey IQ to where he could score 50 goals, or he could have 2 teammates that can score 30 while he scores 40. So instead of just generating 50 goals for himself, he's helping generate almost 100 goals, or more than 100 goals. So McKinnon's that type of guy where he won't just shoot if he can shoot. He'll try and create opportunities and make his team better. He's very, very Crosby-esque. You put 2 guys with him that might not be clicking elsewhere. You put them with McKinnon, and they start really, really gelling. Sons of Liberty, yes. Sons, absolutely. Zach Hyman, tap-in specialist. 1,000%. Zach Hyman, tap-in specialist, easily. And the Habs end up going back to the power play. David Kemp gets called for holding Newhook. Other possible players I can think of, Panarin. Panarin's a little more of a playmaker, I see. Kaprizov, I could see. Kaprizov, I think, probably gets 40, but I think it depends if the team around him wants to play. There's no shot Kadri hits 50, Yoshi. I get, Leafs fan, you'll probably really like Kadri. There's, nobody around him. They're not going to put Huberdeau with Kadri just hoping that Kadri gets 50. Kadri's kind of like Hyman a little bit, in my opinion. He's very, very much like a tap-in guy, sit him in front of the net, shit disturber type of guy. That's how I see it. Lady Balls, I love your name. Lady Balls, and before Fortnite impacts Lane's hockey performance like on the Jets. I don't think so, honestly. I don't think it will. I think he's got that figured out. I'm not gonna speculate that. Oh, maybe that's what he went to the players assistance program for. If it is, that's awesome that he thought to get help for that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something that he got, figured out in the past. But, Lady Balls. I get it, Lady Balls. You got tease, but still, I gotta address it like it's serious. For some viewers that might not, that might think that. But I don't think Laine gets impacted by that. I can hope not, at least. We can hope that he's not impacted by Fortnite, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with Laine. I don't think to name any players from Boston. Yeah, definitely not David Pastrnak. Definitely not. He's never scored more than 20 in a season, right? I don't think so. Kucherov, no. Kucherov's far more of a playmaker. And especially the fact that he has Jake Gensel with him who can score. Even though they're both wingers, Gensel probably plays on the left side, I would imagine. Gensel probably hits 35, 40 goals. Don't think he gets to 50, though. The only guys that I can see hitting 50 this year are, unfortunately, McDavid, Pasta, because apparently that team's never going to die. The Bruins are never going to die. And probably Draisaitl. I could see those guys being 50 goal scorers this year, more than likely. That's what I think, at least. Habs can't get much early on in the power play. Kind of makes sense with not many NHLers on the Canadiens team and the Leafs team being essentially the full roster, barring a couple guys like Matthews and at this point Nylander's out of the game. The second half of the power play does look better. The Habs are able to move the puck quickly. Hutson doesn't shoot when he has a wide open opportunity. That sucks. The Habs do end up being 0 for 2 on the power play. Don't think Barkov or Tkachuk from Florida will? No, not at all. Tkachuk will hit 40. Barkov probably gets a 30-60 season. I think he hits 90 points with 60 assists again. Panthers will be 1 of 16. No. God, no, Yoshi. Florida as a fucking draft lotto team, dog? No. I'm sorry. I don't get how Florida ends up being a draft lotto team. I mean, I'd love it because that means Montreal ends up with a really good draft pick, but it's not going to happen. They lost some guys, sure, but like they still have most of that top six, like Barkov, Tkachuk, Reinhart, Lundell, Bennett, Verhaeghe. Rodriguez is actually probably there. Bennett's probably on the third line more than likely. Mackie Samachkovic. I'm Don Cherry now. He looks like he could be good on the third line. They have decent depth. Not great depth like last year, but playoff team depth. Bob and Knight are going to be their goalies, more than likely, I would imagine. And even you look at their defense, like Ekblad and Forsling, that's a good top pair. Sure, after that it gets a little weak, but like Mikola's decent. They have Nate Schmidt still, who should be solid enough. Kulikov, he's not good, but like, meh. And then they've got like Adam Boquist. That's a guy I could see turning into a legit top 4 defenseman in Florida. I see him being another Gus Forsling. You get him for nothing. He pans out. He takes a bridge deal maybe, or he takes some type of pay cut to compare to what he would normally get on the market. Stays for a while with Florida and turns into a legit top 4 defenseman. I'm still big on Adam Boquist. I don't know why Columbus gave up on him. I mean, I get why, because who would want to be in Columbus, but like, So for me, meh. Also, apparently Chris Drieger was acquired via expansion. Apparently he was acquired by the Panthers via expansion, so that's fun to know. What happened to Nylander? I saw a replay. I'm legit so lost. Yeah, so Steven Lorentz pushed Nylander, and he got a skate to the face. Thankfully not like the sharp skate, but just like the upper part of the foot. I'm not showing my feet. What do you think? I'm fucking weird? But yeah, the top of the foot basically just, boom, kind of side. Thankfully not like Tavares level, but just kind of just striding, and it just kind of collided. Thankfully he got up a little bit after the whistle, but they pulled him for precautionary reasons. You could imagine he's back Saturday. Didn't look, but yeah. Florida's draft lotto team. What is this, 2018? Like Lady Ball said, yeah, 2018, Luongo. Hell yeah. Nylander, when injured by Robertson hitting him, wasn't able to come back. I kind of have a thinking. I mean, yeah, own guy injuring an own guy. That's not good. Harry, you see Vegas in 2023 beating the Panthers, and they for sure got defeated by Stars last year in the playoffs. Of course, even they beat those defending Stanley champs. They played. It's not even that they played bad against the Oilers. It's that they played great for the first 3 games. The Oilers sucked. Then they played complacently, and they just got outplayed by the Oilers. It's not that they played bad. It's that they got outplayed. And Game 7, Bobrovsky finally showed back up, and he said, hey, you know what? I'm not losing to some bum who thinks he's a first-line talent but doesn't play defense. No, we got this. And he showed that you need a guy like Alex Barkov or Nick Suzuki to win the Stanley Cup. And yeah, Nylander. I like that, Lady Balls. That's funny. Yeah, Panthers are making the playoffs easily. God damn it. I'm sorry, boys. I keep dropping my change because I'm trying to, organize it, and yeah. Yoshi, there's no way it's the Islanders that knock out the Panthers in the playoffs. Panthers are top 3 in the division, with probably the Leafs and either the Sabres or the Habs, depending on how the division falls. If Boston doesn't sign Swayman, I think they're out of it. And then Tampa is just, they're horrible. But, yeah, the Islanders would have to make a wild card. Yeah, in 2020, maybe. In 2020, when Matheson does us all a favor and headshots Johnny Boychuk to end his career. But I'm waiting for Sons to put those 3 magic letters in the chat. But yeah, no, now the Islanders probably have to rely. Thank you, Sons. Thank you, Sons. Even though you don't like Johnny Boychuk, you still gotta put him. I like that. But yeah, I also heard that Rangers will be toasted if they don't sign Shesterkin. Probably, I would imagine. Given, though, that he apparently wants $12 million per, or 10, 11 million, I don't know if I'd give that to a fringe starter. I don't know if I'd give that to Shesterkin. Given he hasn't really done much in the playoffs, and he's not that good, I can't see I would do that. No, I like him. I just thought Kim was an ultra dick muncher. Yeah, Sons, absolutely, yeah, dude. She. Well, not just was, she still is. Every time you mention Boychuk, she'll start crying about how, he was going to retire in the offseason anyways, but it was too soon. It's grow up, dude. Come on. It's kind of a bit too much for Swayman or Shesterkin. Bad deal. I mean, Yoshi Bros, if the 10 mil thing is the accurate report for Swayman, yeah, probably a little bit too much. 8 mil? I think that works, because Swayman looked like the starter last year, and I think that he has that potential, and I think he'd play very well under a Boston team that has a decent defense. But you put Korpisalo in front of that defense, yeah, no, they're allowing 4 or 5 goals. They're allowing 4 or 5 goals a game, at least 4 or 5 goals a game. So, yeah, if the Bruins don't get Swayman and maybe brew over, Sons, I can tell you it won't maybe brew over, it will be brew over. And also, I just realized I've not checked my WWE Supercard in a couple hours, so that sucks. Boston only have to move a couple of pieces out to be able to make room to sign Swayman. But that's the thing, is they then would need to replace those players in order to make a full roster. Because I'm pretty sure the couple guys that they would have to sign are guys that they probably wouldn't want to get rid of, I would imagine. So, on one hand, I think they're going to get it done, but on the other hand, it'd be really funny if they didn't. So yeah. Leafs press. Kemp has a good shot through a screen, but Dobes makes the save. So how much you do a Crosby sign for the same numbers as Jersey? 1 million Lady Balls? 1 million Lady Balls would be very funny. 1 mil? I mean, I'm assuming you're a Bruins fan? I'm trying to see from your profile picture, and I can't really. I'm not on YouTube. I'm on my Streamlabs, just looking at the chat through that. I mean, it'd be funny. All this for him just to all this just for him to sign for 1 mil, but it'd be funny. But yeah, no, there's a 0% chance he signs for that low. Imagine the Panthers signing Bobrovsky to no contract that's 10 mil. I think it's worth it. No, Yoshi. I don't even think Bob at 10 mil right now. If he signed a new contract, that's not worth it. I mean, back in like the 90s when it was pay for a player for what they've done rather than what they will do, then yeah, I think 10 mil for Bob would be very worth it. In the modern NHL where you're paying for the type of player that they are right now, he's worth probably 5-6 million. Swayman is better than Bob. I mean, in the playoffs, it's completely different, but regular season, yeah. It's probably going to be Bob and Knight splitting starts more so than Bob getting the full regular season. But, yeah, for me, I think that Swayman is a lot better in the regular season and probably should be paid for it, I think. So, yeah. The Habs went roughly 16 minutes between shots. Newhook ends up with both of them. He gets a good tip shot that just gets stopped. He then needs a cross-check from behind. Not a vicious one, but just one of those little, like, get out of the net, whatever. So then, no call. Hutson then really finds Tuck on a really nice quick pass. Leafs then counter the other way. Good stop on, I believe it was Nick Robertson with the glove by Dobes. I know Vasi was great when he sent the Lightning to 2 Cup finals, so likely where would you find goalies that can play amazing? Apparently Russia is where you find them. Vasi, I was going to say Shesterkin, Sorokin, Bobrovsky. Apparently Russia is where you find elite goalies. I mean, you could argue America because Jacob Fowler is going to be phenomenal, but really it's just look all over. You really got a guy who can make 40 saves consistently, like Price when he was in his prime. If you just need a guy who can face 20 shots and make 3 decent saves a night, like Marty Brodeur. Or if you need a guy like Roberto Luongo who can handle a little bit of everything and just doesn't end up winning a Stanley Cup because the team decides to cheap shot a Bruin, and that sets the Bruins in motion to win the Stanley Cup, unfortunately. But, yeah. Pacioretty has speed in the dying seconds. He has a shot. Good stop by Dobes, almost at the buzzer. Shots are 13-3 for the Maple Leafs. And they have a 1-0 lead after the first period. The thing why the Leafs didn't re-sign Samsonov and why he signed with Vegas, because he performed badly last season, so even when he plays with the Knights, I'm still considering... Well, no, Yoshi Bros, I don't think you should, because he's going to be playing for a decent team. And it's actually a team that has a legit defense in front of him. He's not going to be playing for a team that has holes still on that blue line. He's playing for a team that Pietrangelo, Hannafin, Theodore, McNabb, Whitecloud, Haig, those are 3 pretty good defensemen right there. And even then with like Hutton or Kojar who can come in, they're still decent depth options. So for me, Hill and Samsonov, especially with Samsonov, he's going to be the backup. I wouldn't be surprised to see him put up like a 904, 905. I wouldn't be surprised to see him put up good numbers, and then next year get $3 million for a team just to put up a 873 again somehow. But yeah, I think that Samsonov is going to be good, but it's more so because of the team in front of him, not because of him and his ability. Roberto Luongo, snagulated balls, I love that. Leafs in the opening minute of the second, they get a shot. There's some good pressure for them. Tuck then rocks Tavares at the boards. Good hit there. Leafs only played the worst games. Leafs only played worst games is the defense. Montreal had the best runs in the previous 20 seasons of the playoffs, and they at least made it to either the East Finals or the Conference Finals. But the Leafs are not a team. I mean, yeah, I think that definitely. I mean, defense wins you championships. That's how it typically is said, and it's true. Defense can win you championships, or does win you championships. I mean, you need a good defense. You don't even necessarily need a fantastic goalie. You just need the right goalie. You just need a goalie who gets hot at the right time. You need basically everything to go right for the team in order to actually win a Stanley Cup. That's really all you need, is just everything to go right. And that's not even saying you need 100% luck. A lot of it obviously is the player's ability and the mindset and the coaching. But you do need a lot to go your way, You do need a big, thick D, for sure, Lady Balls. You do need big, thick D to win Stanley Cups, absolutely. Of course, out of their 9 playoffs, their best run was the second round exit, and the Canadiens were a team that made amazing progress. Exactly, Yoshi Bros. Yeah, I mean, the Habs, even in 2021, we had great defensemen. Shea Weber, of course. Petrie was pretty good in that run. Sherratt, I think, was solid. Gustafsson, for only playing 8 games, I thought he was actually pretty decent. Romanov was solid in those playoffs as well. We had guys who were very, very solid. At least I'm pretty sure Romanov was playing in those playoffs. I'm pretty sure he was. And even up front, we had the offensive guys. We had young guys. We had vets. We had guys who won cups like Stahl and Perry. We got those guys at the deadline. It's all about how the team gels and how they play in front of your goaltender. And again, it's a part of it is getting a hot goalie. Carey Price was red hot in those playoffs, and without him, we're probably out in 5, or at the very least 6, or at the very most 6 games. If it's a Jake Allen in it, we probably are out in 5 or 6 because it's Carey Price, backstops us, and we go all the way. Yeah, we had a great run, and it ended up, of course, coming out of the Lightning. I mean, could have gotten that Canadian Cup drought. I mean, we just ran out of gas. That's the thing. You also have to make sure your team doesn't run out of gas at the improper time. You have to make sure that they're able to go all the way, and you got to recognize when the run's done. And then the Habs kind of did. They were lucky enough they won that game 4, and they pushed the Lightning, and it just didn't end. Unfortunately, just couldn't do what they did against the Leafs. Unfortunately, but you know what? I'll always remember 2021. I think a lot of Habs fans will remember 2021, but when we inevitably win a cup in the next 7 years, we'll probably remember that even more because that's going to be even more special. So, yeah, there's that. Leafs then get about 40 seconds of pressure at one point. They look solid, and then the Habs score. All of a sudden, off a very bad turnover, right to Alex Barré-Boulet, passes to Dvorak in the slot. Basically a breakaway. It's in the zone turnover. Dvorak skates up, forehand, goes backhand. Deke puts it 5-hole. Good shot, Dvorak. The game gets tied just 5:39 into the second period. Then the Habs almost score again. Heineman just can't convert a centering shot. Went for the tip, and I think it went wide by that much. Very good opportunity there. Yep, 2021 was the bubble playoffs. Yep, Lady Balls. That was the bubble playoffs. Yep. Habs then look to have gained a little bit of momentum post their goal. Dobes goes the other way, or Dobes off of a least chance the other way, has a good save on a 5-hole. Pizzetta on a 3-on-2 has a good shot but just misses. Good hit on Leaf following afterwards though. Heineman then gets a wrister on a near 3-on-2. Good stop by Stolars though. Struble with a big hit on Leaf. That was pretty solid. Reeves ended up boarding him a little bit later in the period, but that went uncalled. Jackeye has a little bit of a bad pinch trying to get a puck. It ends up leading to a 2-on-1 for the Leafs. The shot just misses the net. There's another one moments later on Nick Robertson, and holy shit, what a save by Jakub Dobes. He plays wonderfully that time. Wonderful opportunity. Wonderful opportunity for Nick Robertson. Dobes comes up big time there. That could have been a 2-1 game right there. Good stop by Dobes. Leafs get some momentum. Habs have a couple looks, but it's all Leafs basically. It is all Habs get a few looks, but it's all Leafs. And then they go to the power play. Tuck gets called for a trip. That's Jackeye leaves the left side open, or right side open, I should say. That lets Tavares sneak in for a shot. That gets stopped. Habs end up clearing. Leafs pressure, but there's nothing in the back of the net. Habs end up being 1 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight. And the Leafs go right back. Hutson gets called for a high stick. That also sucks. There's a press after a Habs clear. Reinbacher ends up losing his skate blade for a 5-on-3.5 for a second. There's a shot that's wide. It just ends up out of the zone. Reinbacher gets pushed to the bench to get him off. Habs end up being 2 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight, thankfully. So far, we are 12 for 13 on the penalty kill, which, wow. Luca, how's Cowan? Does he look London bound? Honestly, no. Also, hi, Harry. Hi, Luca. What the hell was that game tonight for the Sabres, or for the Senators? Jesus. Honestly, Cowan looks good. I thought Cowan played a very good game tonight. 3 or 4 of the chances that I spotted that were prime opportunities were directly because of Cowan. Like, for the Leafs, I should say, not for the Habs. 4 or 5 of the Leafs' best chances were because of Easton Cowan. He played a very, very good game tonight. I wouldn't say he looks London-bound. I'm sure you'd like that because, obviously, you're a Knights fan, but I think he does end up back in London more than likely just because the Leafs, I don't think, want to rush him, and they don't really have a spot for him anyways. But I would say Cowan does go back to London, but he leaves a very good taste in Leafs management's mouths. I think he definitely has a spot next year for himself, provided that he just takes that small extra step to being a top 6 forward right out the gate, which I think he probably will be. He looked very good tonight. I think Easton Cowan had a very, very solid game tonight. Didn't score. I don't think he got on a point, but yeah. Didn't watch the Sens games too much. Heard Yak and Olmark look good. All that really matters. Yeah, Olmark looked pretty good. I only saw a little bit of the game, not a whole lot. Obviously, I was watching the Canadiens game instead, but I know Yakimchuk had 2 assists on. He had 2 assists. He had an assist on both of the Sens goals. I think you guys got outshot. I know it said somewhere around here. You guys were outshot like 43-25, something like that. And I think I mentioned to Sporty the OT winner was Yak. Wait, the OT winner was Yuck. Oh, I see now. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was a bad OT winner, I think. I remembered Sporty saying something like that, and in the general chat. I didn't see it though. The Habs game just ended, and the Sens game I think ended at the same time. I think I was watching I forget if it was the Islanders Flyers game was ending. No, yeah, I was trying to watch the Islanders Flyers game, but that had also ended, so it was on NHL Network, unfortunately, and I didn't get to the Senators and Sabres in time. Oh God, where am I? Yeah, so Habs looked for something. No shots. They really didn't get a ton in that second. They were getting dominated late in the second, though. They couldn't even get into the zone. Then the Leafs score. Nick Robertson unassisted off a very bad attempted pass by Adam Engstrom. Engstrom just goes for it. He gets stick lifted. Robertson strips him, buries it with a delayed penalty after Engstrom hooks him. Robertson buries it 18:04 into the with a minute 56 left in the second period. That sucks. Leafs then press for a 3-1 lead. Final minute, Tavares and Reeves scrambling right in front of the net for a puck. Couple sticks are also in there for the Canadiens. Reeves ends up shooting wide. That's no real big surprise. Shots are 29-10 for the Maple Leafs. They have a 2-1 lead after the second period as well, so it's not looking good for Montreal, is it? But then again, as I mentioned off the top of the broadcast, Leafs have almost their entire NHL roster. Oh, here it is. 41-16. That's what you got outshot by. Raymond, yeah, man, I can't believe we lost to the Leafs. I mean, I don't like it, obviously, as a Canadiens fan. I always want to win against the Leafs. It doesn't surprise me, though. Like you said, A, it's only preseason, and B, we were playing a lot of our depth. It was half the AHL squad, half the bottom 6 guys. And on the Leafs end, it was almost their entire NHL roster, excluding Matthews, Nylander for like 70% of the game, and Joseph Wall, basically. It was almost their entire NHL roster, so that it kind of makes sense how we lost to them. But Saturday, I would hope the result gets flipped. I would hope. So yeah, like I said, shots 29-10 for the Maple Leafs after the second with a 2-1 lead. Sabres are 4-0 in preseason. Holy shit! I knew they won 3. I didn't realize it was 4-0. Good for the Sabres. Hell, I said it, boys. I said Lindy Ruff I think was going to be a very good addition for the Sabres. And so far, again, it's only preseason, but looks like he is so far. I really like Lindy Ruff. And, yeah. Leafs early. Get a couple looks. Habs in return. Press, but there's no shots. Struble then has a big hit. They beat the... Yeah, I saw that, Raymond. Yep, they beat the Senators tonight 3-2 in OT. Yeah, I knew they that was their... I thought that was their 3rd preseason game. I didn't realize it was their 4th. But, yeah. Struble, like I said, has a big hit on Reeves. Reeves tries to go after him. Struble ends up getting out of the way. They then jaw after a whistle. Where on the same whistle, Tuck and McCabe get into it because there's an offside, but it's whistled like, and Tuck takes the shot like right at the whistle as for a bullshit offside. McCabe goes after him. They go at it. Reeves and Struble are jawing at each other. Reeves doesn't want to drop the gloves because why would he want to drop the gloves with someone who can actually fight? Yeah. Reeves then tries to hit Hutson a couple shifts later, but Hudson's able to get out of the way there. That's good. Leafs get a couple opportunities. There's not many chances on net, but there are a couple looks. Habs look for a game-tying goal, but they're not getting anything on net, really. Funny enough, we actually outshot the Leafs spoiler, like 7-3. Or 7-4, or 7-5, sorry. In the, I was doing the calculations, I was seeing my notes. 7-5. There were not a lot of shots in this period. I was struggling to find notes to put, honestly. Yeah, it's not even like, oh, was that all you take down, all you track is shots? No. There wasn't a lot of hitting, really. There were not many, like, oh, this was a near hit, that didn't connect, oh, good stick check. It was really just kind of just, all right, make sure nobody gets hurt type of hockey, you know? Like I said, Leafs get some chances. Habs press. There's no shots, though. Dobes was getting a little complacent. There were not many shots. Again, he'd faced 29 after 40 minutes. He would then face 5 in the last 20, which he's probably thankful for, but he's probably lucky that there wasn't a insurance marker, which almost was at one point, but we'll get into that. Both teams then got a little bit physical. Tuck would end up hitting Reeves along the boards. Habs pressed with 8 minutes left. There's some good looks for the top 6, so basically the Dvorak line and the Kapanen line. The Leafs having most of the Leafs NHL team was going to be a little bit too much. There's missed icing on the Leafs, but then they call one a minute later on them anyways. Hutson has a good wrister just wide, almost had it with 5 minutes left. Dobes gets pulled with just under 4 minutes left. I think it's 3:59 he's pulled with, literally. Habs gank gets set up. Dobes goes back in with 3:15 left. Leafs end up getting an opportunity. I think it was Marner right in front off of a Justin Barron turnover. Really good stop by Dobes, his best one of the period. Third best, I would say, of the game. The 2-on-1 was a really good save that I mentioned earlier, and there was another one that was pretty good on, I think it was a slot shot by, I want to say, Holmberg. I know he had a couple stops on Holmberg tonight. And, so that almost happened. Dobes then gets pulled again after the Habs win a face-off. We then ice it. Dobes goes back in. Dobes makes a stop the other way as he was trying to leave the net. So he was going this way. The puck's coming out this way. He ends up coming back and just making the save. Cheeky trying to bury in the empty net like that. But, Habs look for something in the final minute. They call the timeout, I should say, with 3:59. I should say they also called the timeout there. They pulled it with, I think, 2.5 left. I think they pulled it a little after they initially pulled. They pulled him with 2:59 left, actually, and it was 2:15. And the Marner chance was with like 1:30 left. So, yeah, dying seconds. Barron has a shot, but that's wide. Because why wouldn't it be? It's Justin Barron. Leafs win 2-1 in regulation. The final shots end up being 34-17 for the Maple Leafs. So the Habs got something in the third. They finally outshot the Leafs. Just wasn't enough, unfortunately, to tie the game up. Or win it, I should say. So yeah, that is the game tonight. We'll get into the stats in a couple minutes. If you guys got any last comments or questions or whatever, please let me know. But yeah, I'm honestly very happy with the Habs so far in preseason. Two games where you shut out the opponent, you outplay them essentially, and the one game that you get outplayed in, none of your big dogs are really playing aside from Hutson, and he looked pretty solid. They showed a graphic with, I think, halfway through the third, Hutson had 30 more seconds of ice time than the second player through both teams. It was Mitch Marner who was second. Hutson had like 1:50 of possession time. So he probably got that up to 2 minutes, I would imagine. Hutson A, he's going to make the team. B, he's going to be with David Savard on the second pair. C, he's probably going to put up 60 points. He looks like he could anyways. Hutson looks very good. Looks very good this season. Preseason, I should say. But still, start of the season, technically. So, yeah. We're going to get to the stats, and then we'll work on getting out of here. Alex Barré-Boulet leads the Habs with a goal, 2 assists for 3 points. Michael Pezzetta, of course, leads the team in goals with 2. Emil Heineman with a goal and an assist for 2 points. Jared Davidson, Oliver Kapanen, and William Trudeau, each with 2 assists. Luke Tuck, David Savard, Josh Anderson, Nick Suzuki, Christian Dvorak, each with a goal. Lane Hutson, Josh Waugh, Logan Mailloux, Xavier Simoneau, and Owen Beck, each with an assist. Caden Primo, Jakub Dobes, Sam Montembeault, and Connor Hughes, each with a shutout. I'm crediting them all with the shutout over the first 2 games because they basically played an equal amount of time. I think it's only fair. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today's stream. I will remind you guys that we're not here tomorrow. I don't think I have anything planned for tomorrow. Saturday, we're going to be live for the game recap of the game that's in Montreal between these two teams. And then Sunday, which it's going to be appearing down here in a minute, we are up here live for MCW opening night. If you guys could check out the second most recent video on the channel, that is announcing, basically telling you what MCW opening night is essentially. And also, if you guys could please go check out the most recent video on the channel, the Daddy Rice 1K subscriber song, celebration song that I made for you guys. If you guys go check that out if you haven't already, that'd be much appreciated. I'm a really big fan of it. I really enjoyed what I made for it. What I did for it, I really had fun with the lyrics and spitting bars. I had a lot of fun with it, so if you guys go check that out, that'd be appreciated. So yeah, again, we're not up here tomorrow, but Saturday we're live. Usual time around 9:45, 10 o'clock for the game recap. Sunday we're live at 5 p.m., as you can see it down here. 5 p.m. EST for MCW opening night. We will be live for that program. And then it's just the Habs games right now. I might do a little channel update. Over the next week or so, just to let you guys know the content that's going to be coming out for the rest of the year, maybe, or some of the content. Obviously, sometimes I do sporadic stuff, but for the most part, what should be coming for the remainder of the year. And yeah, if you guys could check that out, or if I make it, if you guys check that out, subscribe, check out the content. That'd be appreciated. Ladyballs, did you have to party with P. Diddy to get it made? Thankfully not. This is not 1995 anymore. Thankfully, there's this thing called free editing software. Thankfully, I did not have to take it up the ass from P. Dids to get my rap music made anymore. I say anymore as if I had to do that before. No, thankfully I did not have to party with Diddy. However, Sons unfortunately will not be able to make it Sunday because he will be partying with P. Diddy. So, unfortunately, Sons will not be on commentary with me on Sunday. And Sporty, I believe, should be here, barring he doesn't get caught by his bookie. So, yeah, there's that. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes on Sunday. So, yeah, that's going to do it for today's stream, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share on everything, which includes, but is not limited to, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Tumblr, and everything else. My name is Rice. Subscribe to the Puff Club, the H Club, the Sub Hub, and the D Nation. If you're a member of the Mod Squad, thank you for monitoring your comments and streams and our reviews. It is much greatly appreciated. Check out the links in the description. That'd be much appreciated. I should also tell you guys. My Twitter is no longer in existence. It does no longer exist. I have been permanently suspended on my Harry Rice Hockey Twitter account because apparently they couldn't handle la epic trolling. So unfortunately, I don't have a Twitter anymore. Well, I do. Nobody knows my alts. I have like 5 of them. No, I have like 2 alts. But nobody knows. Actually, technically, if you've seen the trade deadline or the free agency stream, you guys know one of my alts probably. So there's that. But yeah. So yeah. Check out the links in the description, guys. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you guys again for watching. My name is Rice, and I'm out. I'm already out. Always remember, no matter how bad we were like last year, how pretty okay we've been so far like this year, and should be pretty good. Go Habs, go boys. Thank you guys again for watching. My name is Rice again, and I'm out. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye guys. Love you guys. See you guys. Bye guys. Bye.